Hey, it's Glinton. We're looking at Dragon Age Inquisition, the multiplayer mode. This is the first time multiplayer has been included in a Dragon Age game. And here we're going to give you 10 facts you should know about this multiplayer mode. Starting with number 1. Multiplayer is completely separate from the campaign. There's no need to worry about screwing over your campaign progress, grinding any sort of special points, carrying over any resources back and forth between the multiplayer and campaign. It's all completely separate. Self-contained mode, you could say, so just have fun and experiment. And number 2, character development is greatly simplified. In the campaign, your class could be divided into a bunch of subclasses and you have a lot of different skill trees to choose from. In multiplayer mode, if you choose the rogue, you're basically either choosing an archer or the assassin. If you go archer, you're basically just going to have the 2 skill trees open up to archery and more evasion stealth based skill tree. So it's really simplified in that respect. So keep that in mind when you go into this mode. So talking about classes, number 3, you get 3 classes to start, but 10 more are unlockable. And that's where you get the other kind of subclasses that are broken off into their own class, right? So you have the rogue archer, but later on you can unlock a hunter or the assassin, right? These other classes are only unlocked by crafting specific items, and you'll see what item it is when you cycle through the options in the menu. Number 4, there are microtransactions, but not to worry, they are pretty much optional. They're just time saver upgrades. Because you have 2 currencies in multiplayer. You have the gold, which is the soft currency. You'll always be earning gold as you play. Then you have the platinum bars. This is the premium currency, and you buy this with real money. And yeah, the premium currency and the gold both buy the same things. There's nothing that's going to be unavailable to you only by paying gold. I'm sorry, there's nothing that you can buy strictly with the platinum bars. The platinum bars are just there to sort of boost you up and help you buy more chests of loot. That's the main way you get equipment and things like healing potions and buff potions. These are really important, especially healing potions, since you can only carry 2 healing potions into a mission at any one time, and they don't just pop up whenever you kill an enemy. You have to get them from chests. So I would say don't worry too much about the microtransactions. It's sort of like how it was in Mass Effect 3's multiplayer mode. Very optional. You don't need to have to worry about it. So you're probably wondering how the multiplayer is structured. Well, it's not quite the Horde mode you saw in Mass Effect 3. The multiplayer setup in Dragon Age is that you have 3 maps available to you right now. They are the Elven Ruins, the Orlesian Chateau, and the Tevinter Ruins. Each of these maps is made up of 5 stages that get progressively harder. So you're basically going from one end of the map to the other, right? And you're just fighting guys along the way. Breaking up these stages in a map is a ready room. And then in this ready room, you'll find a checkpoint and a healing fountain that when someone touches it, it just heals the entire party back to full health. The objectives of a map kind of vary between killing all enemies, recovering an item, defending an NPC, or just straight up defeating a boss. And the layout of the maps are sort of procedurally generated each time. There is basically a very set formula that it follows, but you'll see some variances if you play the same map over and over again, so that's kind of nice. When you die in the game, you're downed, so you can kind of crawl around still, and you have a certain amount of time before you're completely out. At that point, someone can revive you, and then if they take too long to revive you, then you're just dead, and you can only come back once the team hits the next checkpoint. If you're downed more than 3 times, then you cannot be revived. Number 6. As you may have seen in the gameplay footage here, you just want to use the standard MMO or dungeon crawler party tactics. And that means tanks up front, archers and mages in the back. And in this case, you really want to protect the mages since they have some really great, team-wide buff spells. And the archers hit pretty damn hard, so you want to keep them protected as well. Number 7, in my experience so far, you want to create your own lobby instead of trying to join a game through quick match. Quick matches frequently disconnect, and it wastes a lot of time as you're dumped into a loading screen each time you disconnect, right? So there's join in progress, so just start up your own game, pick the map you want, and then as you wait for people to fill up your party, which happens quite quickly, you can pick up gold, explore the map at your leisure, and just start killing enemies. Number 8, loot is shared. Do not worry about grabbing chests and other loot before your teammates. Only one person needs to pick up a loot for everyone to get their assigned rewards. So it's shared, right? Someone picks up a chest, you're gonna see a little pop-up above your head. It's usually gold that you get, but once in a while you get a random drop, which is a piece of armor or a weapon or some upgrade material. So don't worry about grabbing the loot in the middle of an intense battle. Number 9, voice chat is not required, but it always helps with these team-based games, right? Use the D-pad for quick communication. If you click in the right stick, you can lock onto a target. And once you've locked on, you can press up on the D-pad to tell your team to focus fire on your target. At any time, you can press down on the D-pad to signal your team to form up on you. It's a good thing to do if you found a treasure room and everyone is still rushing down the critical path. You want to call them back to you because you really want to stick together in this game. And when in doubt, just stick together. If no one has mics, the worst you could do is follow the tank or follow who seems to know where to go next, right? And the 10th and final point I'd like to make in this video is this co-op multiplayer mode is actually a lot of fun. Just like it was in Mass Effect 3, I was kind of disappointed when they first announced the multiplayer mode for Mass Effect 3, and it turned out to be an excellent way to spend your time. It had a really good progression system. A lot of people were playing it, so the community was pretty active. Even after most people finished the single-player campaign, the multiplayer kept the game alive and on people's playlists. I think the same thing is going to happen with Dragon Age Inquisition. And in case it doesn't, I would recommend that you just jump into multiplayer now and fool around, level up some characters while the player community is still fresh, right? What you usually see is like a steep drop off in multiplayer communities. Unless it's a strictly dedicated multiplayer game, you tend to see a drop off in multiplayer players, a month or so after a game has come out. Sometimes even quicker. So I would say just get in while there's people to play with because it's really fun. And the single player campaign is always going to be there. The only risk you run is perhaps running afoul of spoilers, right? You kind of want to stay off Twitter, be careful around social media. You might get story spoilers if you're kind of lagging behind on the campaign, but I think overall that's a minor problem to have. So that is pretty much it. Those are your kind of 10 facts about Dragon Age Inquisition multiplayer. I've just been playing the Archer most of the time. Recently got my Archer up to level 12. The level cap, I should say, is 20 for any one character. And after that, you just earn prestige points, and which is just like you keep increasing your base, your signature stat by 1 each time you would normally gain a level. And then there are additional challenges you can kind of chase after for more points. But it's a nice mode, and I definitely recommend it. So that is about it. If you liked this video, I would appreciate if you liked it, share it with your friends. And if you really want to see more videos on Dragon Age Inquisition or Destiny and a bunch of other stuff coming down the pipe, then do feel free to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Ciao.